Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read here. I'm reeling from the What's Cracking reading this morning. Sometimes when the power comes through, the power of the messages, the strength of the messages, sometimes they can be quite overwhelming. And being an empath, sometimes I do the readings in the morning and I don't always think about, putting protection on myself before I do them. And I'm almost getting flashes before the eyes, like they're so potent. And it just makes me feel like I just want to do this work all the time. And I know I'll get round to it. I know I will. I think a lot of people are looking for guidance on this path now, knowing that they are starting to understand their higher destiny. This time in lockdown has certainly opened a lot of people up to possibility, opened a lot of people up to what really we are here for, and to raise the greater consciousness. And it really has started to happen. So anyway, I'm doing your bonus reading. I have the Tarot Moocher here to do that with. Okay, I have the Hermit card coming out first. Now the Hermit card is a card that represents Virgo. But what it talks about taking time to go inside to find your inner light. So this is about soul searching. It's about taking time out from the, mill of life in order to find what you really are either supposed to do on your life path or the destiny you're supposed to follow. And it really is very, very strong here this morning. So I think a lot of you are either coming out of this period or are going into this period of self-reflection, of really understanding who you are and what your greater purpose is on the planet. I think sometimes we don't really look at that. We don't really look at what we want from what we're doing. We just feel dissatisfied with our lives. We feel that our lives are just sort of the humdrum of day-to-day stuff. And I think we forget that there's something more, there's something bigger, there's something else we need to dedicate our life to. And it's definitely around things like your creativity, understanding what your actual purpose is. Because I think that, especially for many of us who've had families where we've sort of got back into the workforce because financially we needed the money, and then you sort of get to a point where you realize that money is not the be-all to end-all. Yes, it needs to support you, but there's so much more. And if you're living an unsatisfied life, this is what you need to do. Some sort of offer coming in here with the Knight of Pentacles. For some of you, this may be an offer of a job or a position that may tie you over while you're doing what you need to do. This is feeling very creative, this Knight of Pentacles here. Very creative energy. So maybe you've applied for positions now that fit more with your life purpose, rather than sort of following the humdrum of what the expectations of family and life are. This is a card of self-employment. It's also the card of working on projects, developing something new, but putting your time into something here that you're really dedicated to. For me, it's a very spiritual card, so I always think of spiritual business here because of the fact they're working on a church. Now, regardless of whether church represents religion, for me, it's about spirituality. It's about being in your own internal church and working on what you want to work on. So definitely some sort of change coming in. Now, I have the King of Swords here. And the King of Swords is a card that talks about, speaking up, living in your truth, walking forward with clarity. His sword is half out of his sheath here. So he's starting to think a little bit more logically, maybe leaving the emotions of things to try and work out the direction he wants to take in life. Wow, okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups here. I really think here we have perhaps someone coming towards you here, again taking on this energy of the King of Swords because they have a truth to tell or a clarity. I think this person is coming towards you because they see here that you have a greater purpose, a greater destiny. I do think this is reflecting now the What's Cracking reading this morning. I feel that you have someone coming into you who's going to help you, but also you're going to work with them to perhaps move humanity forward in some way, shape or form. It could be that you're going to work together. It could be that you're going to build together. You may be going to be doing some sort of philanthropic work together, but there's definitely a feeling here that someone is coming forward to not only offer you love, but to offer you some sort of destination, some sort of way of being or doing that's going to help you both raise awareness in the universe. Okay, so I have the Strength card coming in here. It's really interesting because that was the last card of the What's Cracking reading. The Strength card talks about working with your, your inner demons, your inner animal, your wild side. This person is taming that side of themselves, the side of themselves that perhaps was difficult to tame. Sometimes within our dark side we hide, or our shadow side, we hide things about ourselves that we've never really embraced. And because we live that separately, it makes it very difficult for us to live in our truth, because we're hiding away or wearing a mask that conceals those parts of us that we don't really want to show to the world. In the Strength card, she's embracing those. So sometimes we may grow up thinking that we're not good enough, that the world isn't right for us, that we're, lacking confidence, self-esteem, direction. All of those things we put away in our shadow side, and we work alongside of them, but we never really acknowledge them or work with them. And in the Strength card, she's working with these energies now. So she's aware that they're there, but she's embracing them. She's learning that she can just be part of them rather than fighting against them. Beautiful, beautiful. And there's rebirth here. So this talks to me here like you're having some sort of awakening here, some sort of rebirth. This says to me that you are learning to accept all parts of you, regardless of whether you felt they were things to be ashamed of or things to be frightened of. You're embracing your whole self here and rebirthing. So you're getting the chance to go back to the beginning and do it all differently, all again. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands coming in here, rushing in on his horse with this passion. Okay, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. There, somebody wants to build with you here. Somebody has gone through the same thing. Someone has realized and had some sort of rebirth here. They're rushing in here very, very quickly too. Okay, so we have the High Priestess coming out here. Beautiful, beautiful. You know what? Again, with the major arcanas here, seeing a lot of them the last couple of days. A brand new start, something passionate, something... Oh, and then the Lovers card. Holy dooly. The energies of these readings the last couple of days have been huge. Okay, someone has had a huge awakening here. They realize they have this greater destiny with you, and they're rushing towards you now to try and have a brand new start with you. You're dealing with someone who's reflecting your energy again. This is twin flames again. This is twin flames coming together. Now, you may not, again, know who this person is. I feel like for some of you, though, this is definitely somebody returning. But I do think that there are people here who may not know. And this person may be returning, but they may not know who they are. They may be not looking at them with the eyes of the soul. They may be looking at them through their own eyes and not realize how this person's going to impact their life. This person wants something that's equal give and take here. They want to share the wealth with the world too. It's not just between the two of you. Well, there you go. There's the Tower. And there's the Sun. So on the table here, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 cards here are major arcanas. This event with the Lovers card and the High Priestess here shows me that something powerful here is about to happen. Something that's really powerful. This person has awakened. This person, whoever they are, if you know them already, you're not going to recognize them. You're not going to recognize them at all. It's like they have completely shaken back their ego. All of these things in their dark side, all of this shadow side, they've embraced it all. That's why they're rushing here, because they can't wait to talk about it. This is why this person's coming out as the King of Swords. They are ready to speak up now. This is a relationship that's being divinely guided. There's just some brand new start here that's going to rock your world, but bring in this beautiful sunshine here. So this is about total joy and happiness. So at a human level, the happiness is evident, but at the higher learning spiritual level, this is a very powerful union. Very, very powerful. So I think in your heart, you're glad to have this person in your life, or glad to have them back in your life, whatever it is for you. But understand that you have something here that you are building towards too. Something very, very powerful here. There's going to be a shift. If this power is coming through on this reading, there is going to be a big shift, because we're talking not just one person for this reading. I'm reading for a lot of people here. I'm almost nervous about picking the last card up, because I really don't know where it's going to go. Oh, nor do they. We have the moon, another major arcana. The moon card talks about things being hidden, things not brought to light yet. I really feel that, because it's sort of like, where is this going? Like, it's just so huge and such a powerful transformation that we're dealing with here. Where is this going? It's absolutely an amazing energy. Okay, so I have the Five of Pentacles sitting here. Now, the Five of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold. And I think with some of you here, maybe this person hasn't been in contact with you. Maybe you haven't had any communication from this person, because this Five of Pentacles here feels to me like this change here, because you don't know what's coming. So have a look at these cards, okay? So we have this change coming in that you really don't know what's going to happen yet. And it feels to me like maybe this Five of Pentacles is saying that you don't feel complete without each other. There's a completion that's about to take place here with this moon. Some sort of information that's going to come to hand, that's going to rock your world. But then I look at all the other cards here. I just want to show you that one, because that's what's coming. Absolute joy and happiness here, but a much greater purpose. It's funny because that Five of Pentacles just flipped upside down, and I'm wondering if it's trying to tell me that's the end of sadness. It's the end of feeling left out in the cold. The end of what you've known in the past. You're changing, you're growing, you're developing, you're becoming something greater. This is true transformation here for more than one person too. So have the card of caring connections coming out here, which already is quite beautiful. Again, I probably don't need to read that. I mean, it does speak for itself, but I want to just read some of it at least. This is friendship and partnership and possible love. This card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the blossoms of new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even the appearance of new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. There you go. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. I love that. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. So doesn't that just complement the reading beautifully? Have a wonderful day.